Welcome. I hope you enjoy your practice. And if you do, give the video a like, maybe subscribe to the channel, and consider commenting or letting me know how it went. Thank you for being here. All right, so feet are planted, your sit bones are planted, your shoulders maybe over your hips, maybe you give them a roll, and maybe you close your eyes. And as soon as you close your eyes, you might take that deep breath in, expanding through your chest and your ribs. And then follow it with that long exhale, maybe open mouth, just letting the air drop out. And take a couple more just like that, breathing in. Breathing out. And maybe even a bit deeper and a bit longer. Inhale. And exhale. And then begin to breathe out a bit more through the nose. So maybe your mouth closes slightly. And see how that might feel a bit differently. And your breath might might sound a bit different too. And remind yourself of a three-dimensional breath. So the movement of your breath is not only happening in the front of the body, but allow the side body to also move. And find some movement through your back body too. Feel your shoulder blades slightly move away from one another when you breathe in. And then slightly draw down and towards one another as you breathe out. Feel your side ribs move towards your arms as you breathe in. And then feel your side ribs move away from your arms as you breathe out. And then feel your chest lift towards your chin as you breathe in. And feel that chest lower as you breathe out. Feel your front ribs expand as you breathe in. And feel those ribs draw towards one another as you breathe out. And then continue with that breath, a few more cycles just like this. And if your eyes are closed, blink your eyes open. And a gentle gaze in front of you. And then find a gentle twist towards the right. Just slide your right hand behind you, your left hand crosses. And don't take it too far, just a little rotation through your rib cage. And take a couple of breaths here. And try to lengthen your spine on the inhales. Begin to engage a bit more through the lower belly as you exhale. And then take it gently towards the left. Left hand slides behind you, right hand crosses over. And as you arrive here, breathe, taking a few moments in this twist. And then guide your torso through center. Take your arms out into a T and then bring the right arm on top of your left as you find a hug. As you inhale again, open up, and then left arm over right, and that hug on this side. And then again, open up, inhale, and right arm over left, and a hug. And open, inhale, and left arm over right, and a hug. As you inhale, open up, turn your palms to face back, and then bring the hands behind you. Grab a hold of your chair or find your other hand, and now look for a stretch through the fronts of your shoulders. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Lengthen the crown of the head a bit higher up, shoulders away from your ears. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. Take another one. And then use your next breath in to release that. Bring your arms out into a T once again, and then turn your palms to face up towards the ceiling. Your fingers now are pointing away from you, and then we're going to drop the fingers towards the floor so the palms are facing out. See if you can feel that stretch through the inner part of your wrist. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And now we're going to lift the fingers towards the ceiling, and the palms are going to be facing in towards us. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then try that again. Drop those fingers all the way towards the floor as you stretch the inner part of your wrist. And then fingers towards the ceiling now as you stretch the upper part or outer part of the wrist. Take it one more time. Fingers down. All about your wrist right now. And then fingers up. Nice. And then palms again facing forward and left arm over right, and find that hug. This time stay for a little longer. Maybe walk your hands a little further around your upper back. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more here, breathing in and breathing out. And then as you inhale, open up those arms and then switch. Right arm over left, and again that hug. See if those hands can walk a little further, but then try to send your elbows away from you. So there's some space between your chest and your elbows, and then use that space to expand your chest on the inhale. And to soften that chest, exhale. And another one like that, expand that chest. And soften. And then as you inhale, open your arms out again. And on your exhale, palms face back, and once again, hands behind you. Maybe your chair or maybe the other hand. If you are grabbing the other hand, see if you can switch the interlace of your fingers. And then find that stretch through the fronts of your shoulders and your chest. Bring your awareness to the space between your shoulder blades, so that upper back, and see if you can squeeze those shoulder blades just a little closer. See how that feels. Breathe in and breathe out. One more. And then release those hands, reach your arms up any amount overhead. And then on your exhale, right arm down for a side bend. So your right hand might come down onto the leg of your chair. You might bend your left elbow. Think about lifting a bit more through your left ribs, expanding there with your next inhale. Exhale. One more here. And then come back through center. And let's take that to the other side. Left arm down. Find that side bend to the left. Maybe that left hand grabs a hold of the seat, the leg of the chair. You might push into it some. You could use it as leverage. And then think about expanding this right rib cage. Find some space in the right side of your chest too. So think about kind of maybe a little arch back. Another breath in and breath out. As you inhale, return through center. Your arms could reach tall. Interlace your fingers and then bend your elbows and bring the hands to the back of your head. The elbows are going to go back. We're going to think about a cow spine. So think about lifting your chest, maybe looking up, shoulder blades squeeze. As you exhale, shoulder blades spread, elbows forward, chin to chest, and we're round. Inhale again, we're opening up. Look for that movement through the spine. See how it feels today. See what's available, and round exhale. Another one, inhale, opening up. And exhale, rounding forward. And last one, breathing in to open. And breathing out to round. Nice work. On your inhale, bring yourself back through center. You could extend your arms up, and exhale, release your arms all the way down by your side. Let your arms be heavy, and then start by rotating your wrists. There might be a wiggle through the fingers, and then rotate in the other direction. And then pause the wrists, and now take it to your arms. So begin to very passive arm rotation. So your arms are pretty heavy. You're getting a little momentum, and then there's not much work having to be done here. Mostly the work is in keeping your spine lifted, because sometimes when the arms, we just let them drop, it pulls the whole torso down. So you want to try and stay nice and lifted through your spine, but very loose through your arms. Switch directions. And then pause that, slide your right hand behind you, and again come into a twist towards the right side, left arm crosses over. Now we'll make it a little bit more active here. So that right leg is going to push into the left hand, and then the left hand is going to pull that right leg. So find some engagement through your left arm. So a little bend in your elbows. You probably feel your biceps muscle begin to work a bit more. And then use your back hand, if you've got it resting on the seat of the chair, push into it a little bit more. So you use it to find that lift through your spine, but you also use it to give yourself a little bit more rotation. And take another breath in. And another breath out. Notice the difference between this twist and the one we did earlier. This should feel a bit more engaging. One more breath. And then bring yourself back through center and simply go to the other side. Left hand slides behind you, right hand crosses over. Go slow. Get into it slow with control. Start soft and then begin to activate a little bit more. So left leg pushing into right hand pulling on that left leg. So a bend in your elbow, some engagement through that right arm. Feel it also in your right shoulder. And then left hand behind you is going to push a little bit more into the chair. See if you find a little bit more rotation and a bit more action through that whole torso. Leg 2. Breath in and breath out. And then return through center, arms sweep wide and up overhead. And now interlace your fingers the opposite to what you did earlier. Palms to the ceiling, take a full inhale. And then on your exhale, bend your elbows and hands to the back of the head. As you breathe in, we're going to stay on an imaginary wall with the back body lengthen up. As you exhale, left elbow drops, right elbow up. So a side bend, but without the help of the arms. Inhale, return center, and exhale, side bend to the right. Keep pushing into that imaginary wall. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Feel a squeeze through the left side torso. Inhale, back through center. And last one, side bend to the right, squeeze right waist. As you inhale, bring yourself back through center, extend your arms overhead, and we're folding over those legs, well, a little space between them, maybe between the legs we're folding, forward and down. Your hands might come onto your thighs, your hands might come onto your block if you have it nearby, your hands might come onto another piece of furniture. See if your head can relax down. Maybe looking under your chair, maybe looking at the floor. Take a full breath in, a full breath out. See if you can keep your upper body kind of relaxed and begin to activate your legs. So think about pushing down through the pinky side edge of your feet. And then feel that activation go all the way up to your hips. Another breath in. And another breath out. And then use your next inhale to rise up. Your hands can come to your thighs and support your spine as you lift. And then let your shoulders drop away from your ears and let things settle a little bit if needed. When you're ready, heel to toe your feet out. And then heel to toe your feet back in. And then again, take them out. And bring them back. And taking them out. And bringing them back. From here, come onto the tiptoes of your right foot. Maybe you want to take your right leg a little out to the side and then rotate on those toes as you find rotation through your right hip. So you're using this to give your hip, some movement, but also to give your toes a bit of a massage against the floor, a little stretch. Your ankle is getting some too. And then switch direction. And then bring that knee back through center and draw that knee into your chest using your hands or around your shin or behind your thigh. Give it a squeeze. And now use this squeeze of the knee in to grow your spine tall. So rather than rounding, think about lifting up. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. Another one here. And then release that right foot next to your left. Once again, heel to toe your feet out. And then bring them back in. And then take them out. And bring them back. And another one out. And bring them back in. This time your left foot is going to come, you're going to come onto the tiptoes of that left foot. And again, maybe you take it out a little bit and then begin to rotate on this side. Massage those left toes. Maybe it feels a bit different on this side. And then switch direction. Notice the movement going all the way into your hip. And then bring that knee back in and bring it into your chest, giving it a squeeze and using that squeeze to find that lift through your spine. So if the visual of the imaginary wall at your back body helps, think about the whole of your back body, including the back of your head, resting on that wall or sliding up tall on that wall. Another breath. And last one, breathing in. And then on your exhale, release, left foot down, heel to toe your feet out, and this time stay. Your hands on your thighs, thumbs inside, fingers wrapped to the outsides of the knees, or the thighs closer to the knees than hips. Take a full inhale to lift your spine. And on your exhale, left shoulder forward and down, and we're turning towards the right thigh. Pushing the left thigh away, get that inner thigh stretch. Notice a stretch through your left shoulder too. Notice a twist through maybe that kind of the lower spine, under the rib cage. Actually upper spine too some. Explore. Couple more breaths. And then use your next inhale to return center, and let's switch, going towards the left. Right shoulder drops forward, down. Your torso turns towards your left thigh, and you're pushing your right thigh away with your right hand. So you're getting that inner thigh stretch and that twist through your spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Another one. As you inhale, torso returns through center, reaching your arms overhead. And on your exhale, interlace your fingers, bend your elbows and hands to the back of the head. Just like we did earlier, imaginary wall behind us, head pushing into the hands as much as the hands back into the head, and then side bend, left elbow down, right elbow up. Keep those knees drawing back. Inhale, come back through center. Right elbow down, left elbow up. And one more each side to the left. And center, and to your right. As you inhale, come back through center, reach your arms up, and on your exhale, release your hands, bring them to your thighs, and heel to toe your feet back in. Your left knee is going to come into the chest this time. Give your ankle some good circles. Switch direction. And then find some rotation through your left hip, this time with the left foot lifted. So you might find that there's a bit more range. Those circles can be bigger than the ones we did when the toes are on the ground. But anytime we do this version, you could also do the one with toes on the ground if that feels better. Rotate in the other direction. And then bring that knee back through center and extend the leg out in front of you, lowering the heel. Pointing and flexing through your left toes. So toes are going to go away from you. Actually, not off the toes, the ankle, toes towards you. And again, point, flex, and one more point, and flex. Now keep that foot flexed. Take your hands to your hips, push the hips down, lengthen your spine tall, and then exhale, hinge from your hips forward and down. We're going to get a little dynamic here, so we'll move between a few poses a few times. So with your next inhale, come back up, reach your arms tall. And as you exhale, find a twist towards the right. Right hand behind you, left hand crosses over. Inhale, return center, arms can lift. Exhale, find that fold over your legs. Inhale, back through center, arms might lift. Exhale, find your twist towards the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale and find your fold. Two more. Inhale, back through center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, center. Exhale to fold. See if you can keep that long spine throughout. One more time, center. Find your twist. Crown of the head still reaching up. Back through center. And find your fold. Crown of the head reaching forward. Pause here in your fold. Give an extra push through the left heel. Take a full inhale. And a full exhale. With your next breath in, come up with your torso, reach your arms overhead, grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand, pull it up, and then take it over to the right side. Push down through your left foot, your left sit bone, extra space in that left side torso. And then returning through center, release your hands, bring them back to your hips, and see if you can lift that left leg up, bend the knee, and plant the foot. Hands come back to your thighs and heel to toe your feet out. Pausing here, take an inhale to lengthen your spine. And then on your exhale, right arm to the inside of that right leg. Maybe that left arm sweeps over by your ear. You could also keep that left hand at your left hip if you'd like. You're still getting that side stretch. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. As you breathe in, come back through center, maybe arms lift. And then let's take it to the other side. Left arm to the inside of that left leg as you find that side bend to this side. Broad through your chest. Breath in and a breath out. On your inhale, returning through center. As you exhale, bend your elbows 90-degree angles, more or less. And then squeeze those shoulder blades as you draw your elbows back. And then bring those elbows forward. Then do 2 more like these. Inhale, opening up. See if those elbows can be in line with your shoulders, more or less. Exhale, bring them forward. And again, inhale, open. As you exhale, bring those elbows forward. Now get your elbows as close together as you can, and then get your forearms and hands as far away from one another as you can. There you go, nice work. Notice that work in the chest, the fronts of the shoulders. And then on your inhale, reach your arms tall. And exhale, release your arms down. Heel to toe your feet back in. And then bring your right knee into your chest. Find some rotation through your right ankle, both directions. And then let's take it to that right hip. And again, maybe if you'd like, you can come back to the earlier version with toes on the ground or foot lifted off the ground. And another direction. Remind that spine to stay long and lifted. See if you need to find a bit more space in the belly. Sometimes we kind of start collapsing down here. And then bring that knee back through center and extend the leg out in front of you, lowering that right heel all the way down. Point and flex through your right foot a few times. And then stay in the flex position, toes drawing actively towards your shin. Hands come to the hips. Take a full breath in to lengthen. And then exhale, find that hinge. And then we'll move between this and that twist a few times, just like we did on the other side. So as you're ready, rising up, inhale, maybe arms reach tall. Exhale, left hand behind us, right hand crosses. Inhale, back through center. Exhale to find that fold from your hips. See if you can keep that reach, crown of the head away from tailbone, coming back through center. Find your twist. And center. And find your fold. 2 more times. Breathing in, lift. Exhale, twist. Breathing in, center. Exhale, fold. And last one, coming back, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And exhale, fold. Pause in your forward fold, a bit more reach through the top of the head. Take a breath in, a breath out. And then as you inhale, rise through your torso, arms reach up. And this time your left hand grabs a hold of your right wrist. We pull it gently up and we take it over to the left side. Pausing here, a little more push down through that right heel and that right sit bone. And then a little bit more space in the right side of your chest. See if you can kind of draw that right shoulder back a bit. Another breath in. And another breath out. On your inhale, we're coming back through center. Release those arms, hands come to your hips, and we're trying to lift that leg without changing too much else. Inhale, and then bend that knee, and right foot plants. Hands return to your thighs, and now give your shoulders a roll. Bring them up, soften them down, and again, bring them up, and soften. And another one, lift and soften. One more for those shoulders. Arms reach out into a T. And the left arm comes across the chest, elbow bends, and your right hand draws that elbow in. Any amount here. Depending on the day, sometimes like the hand can really kind of go down even at the mid-back or so, and you might even give yourself a little massage here with your left hand, a little squeeze, a little scratch, a little tickle. And then open those arms once again, and we'll switch. Right arm across, bend the elbow, and then it's your left hand that's going to help that elbow come a bit closer, and your right hand can come a little bit more around that back body. So there's a cartoon that I might have shared before, but it's like the benefits of yoga stretches to put sunscreen on your back in the summer. So this like weekend of sunny Portland reminded me, like this one, you know, you could put your sunscreen on. You don't need anybody else's help. And then inhale, open up. And as you exhale, let your arms relax down by your side. Shake it out a bit if you want. Maybe some rolls for the shoulders. And then we'll make our way up. So if you'd like to use your block between your knees, good one to bring awareness and strength into the inner part of the legs. So grab it, plant it there, and we'll come up 3 times, up and down 3 times, and then we'll stay lifted. So as you're ready, your hands could be your prop to help you up, or you could swing them forward and up on your inhale as you lift, and exhale as you lower. Give that extra press into the block if you're using it. Inhale and lift, and exhale to lower. And again, inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. And this time we're lifting and staying lifted. You might keep the block between your knees and then bring hands to your chest. Interlace your fingers and rotate those wrists a little bit. The wrist rotation, nice for the wrist, but also nice for the mind. It might feel like there was a lot of work in the thighs. If you give the brain something else to focus on, you might see that it is possible to stay with that effort in the thighs. It's not that bad. All right, if you've got your block, maybe take it out. And on your inhale, straighten legs, reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, take your arms as wide as you can, all the way down by your side. Now, once you've got that, we're coming to a few standing poses. We'll work with the seat of the chair. We'll do a few table poses using the chair, and we'll see where that takes us to. Okay. So we'll start in mountain pose. And just take a moment to kind of lift your toes, spread them out. Even if you're wearing shoes, can you feel your toes wiggle, move inside your shoes, inside your socks? And imagine that you're using your toes to make as much contact with the ground as you can. So the more surface of contact, the more balance, right? The more you can feel stable. You can also work with the distance between your feet. A lot of times I'll say hip width, kind of ankles, knees, and hips more or less in line, but sometimes a little wider feels best, so feel free to go there. Try to have your toes pointing forward, or shall we say like middle toe, kind of pointing forward. So sometimes that means that the big toes are a little closer, slightly closer than your heels. So you could play with that too. So all those little adjustments just to make your stance feel good to you. Stable, connected to the ground. And then once you feel there, sweep your arms wide and up, inhale. And on your exhale, left arm by your side, side bend. Come back through center, breathing in, and then right arm down, side bend to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Let's do one more of each to the left. Inhale, center, and to your right. Now on your inhale, come back through center. Find a slight bend in your knees and we fold towards the chair. Your hands are going to plant. And then straighten your arms, find your table pose. Hands more or less under shoulders, knees, ankles more or less under hips. Okay? And we'll start with a neutral spine, and then we'll find some cows and cats. So with your next inhale, drop the belly. Think about your chest coming forward between your arms, and see if you can lift your chin. And as you exhale, guide the chin towards your chest. Hide the chest, so you kind of pushing the chest away from the chair, and then round through the rest of your spine, tucking your tailbone. And then again, from the tailbone, send it up, drop the belly, chest comes through the arms, chin lifts. On your exhale, chin draws in, chest hides, tailbone tucks. Okay, so see if you can feel that whole range in your spine. Again, tailbone up, belly lowers, chest comes forward, chin lifts. Exhale, chin tucks, chest hides, rounded spine, and tailbone tucks between the legs. One more, just like that, slow and controlled. Inhale, tailbone up, belly lowers, chest forward, chin up. Exhale, chin draws in, chest hides, rounded spine, and tailbone tucks. Nice work. Now return to your neutral spine. Bring your feet a bit closer together and then lift that left leg out behind you. See if you can keep it lifted and extended, and then rotate your left ankle a few times, trying to keep the rest of your body as stable as possible, and then rotate in the other direction. With your next inhale, point the toes away from you, and as you exhale, bend that left knee and draw it underneath you towards your chest, and find that rounded spine. And then inhale, extend, neutral spine. Exhale again, knee to chest and round. Maybe there's knee to nose. Inhale again, extend, neutral spine. And last one, exhale, knee to chest, or even knee to nose if that's available. On your inhale, extend that leg out behind you, and we're coming into a lunge. So bend into your right knee and slow and controlled, lower that left foot or the ball of the foot all the way down. From here, take a full breath in. As you exhale, straighten any amount the front leg. Hips go back. Inhale, bend into that front leg. Hips come forward and down. Two more. Exhale and back. Inhale and forward. And last one. Exhale back. And breathing in, bring it forward. Pause here. And then step that back foot forward. Find that table pose, that half lift. And exhale. Now bend your elbows, drop the head, flex a little bit more through your hips. As you breathe in, hands to your hips, unroll the spine, rising all the way up to stand. And on your exhale, let your arms relax down by your side, back into mountain pose, sweeping your arms wide and up. Inhale. Right arm down, side bend, exhale. Come back through center, inhale, and take it to your left, exhale. Back through center, inhale. We're folding towards the chair, exhale. Hands plant, find that halfway lift. And then from here, we'll take it into some cows and cats, just like we did earlier. So slow and controlled, tailbone up, belly lowers, chest forward, chin up. Exhale, chin tucks, rounded spine, tailbone tucks. And then again, slow and controlled, tailbone lifts, belly lowers, chest comes forward, chin forward up. Exhale, chin tucks, rounded spine, tailbone tucks. Last one, slow. Inhale, tailbone up, section by section, belly lowers, chest forward, chin up. Exhale, chin tucks, rounding through the spine, tailbone tucks. And now return to that neutral spine, flat back, feet are together, and now it's your right leg that's going to extend behind you. Staying with that neutral spine and finding some movement through your ankle. And other direction. And then point those toes away from you. Find distance between toes and top of the head. And then bend that knee to chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to chest. Find that rounding through your spine. Maybe the nose comes close to the knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, and knee to chest. As you inhale, extend, and we're coming into that lunge. Slow and controlled, bend into your left knee and land on the ball of the right foot. Okay. Once you're here, you've got your lunge. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, send your hips back, straightening through that front leg. And again, come forward, inhale, bend front knee. Take it back, exhale. And forward, inhale. And back, exhale. One more time, bring it forward, inhale. And take it back, exhale. Now bend into that front knee and step that back foot forward. Find that half lift. On your exhale, fold, dropping the head, bending those arms. Hands to your hips, bending the knees, and slowly unroll your spine as you rise all the way up to stand. Arms by your side and you're back in mountain pose. Give your shoulders a little roll, your fingers a little wiggle. Just check in, see how things are feeling. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then as you inhale, sweep your arms wide and up. And on your exhale, left arm down, side bend. Back through center, breathing in. Over to your right, exhale. Back through center, inhale, folding towards the chair, exhale. Plant your hands, halfway lift, inhale. From here, left leg out behind you, inhale. On your exhale, knee to chest and round your spine. Inhale, extend. This time, knee to the outside of your left elbow. Inhale, extend, and knee to the right elbow, crossing underneath you. Inhale, extend. On your exhale, left leg is going to cross behind the right leg. So cross legs as you plant your left foot. And then from here, you could stay or fold a bit deeper, torso dropping towards the floor, towards your chair. Take a breath. And one more. There can be as much of a bend in your knees as you want here. And then coming back onto your hands, that half lift, simply uncross the legs, and then take your right leg out behind you. Breath in. And exhale, knee to chest, rounding spine. Inhale, extend. Knee to the outside of your right elbow. Inhale, extend, and knee crosses underneath your left elbow. Inhale, extend, and now the right leg crosses behind the left. Plant your right foot to the outside of the left, and then maybe stay or fold a bit deeper with your torso. Again, bending the knees, perfect, good idea. And you can play with the distance between your feet. You can also stagger your feet, one in front of the other. And take a couple more breaths. Wherever you are. And then we're coming back onto hands. If you went anywhere else, uncross the legs. And then a bend in the knees, hands to your hips as you unroll your spine and rise all the way up to stand. All right, nice job. Let's make our way into a seat. You can choose down to the mat or back into your chair or the chair you started with, or a more comfy chair, maybe a recliner, something like that. So those are definitely good options. When you're ready, those legs are in front of us. Sit bones are well planted. And then your hands are going to frame those hips. You could make fists. Think about pushing or propping that spine up tall. Take a full inhale. And then with your feet wide and knees wide, drop those knees towards the left side. As you breathe in, come back through center. and drop them to the right. And inhale back through center and again to the left. And inhale, center and to the right. As you inhale, bring them back through center, heel to toe your feet in, and then soles of the feet together and knees go wide. Now make this kind of big, so your feet are not too close to your sit bone, so it's kind of like a wide pose. And then take a full inhale. And on your exhale, bring your right knee on top of your left. Inhale, bring it back. And now left knee on top of your right. And bring it back. And then again, right knee on top of left. And see if you can do this, still keeping your torso facing forward as best you can. Trying to make this movement more about the legs than we're moving too much through that torso. And again, open and to the left. Give it one more of each. And last one. And then from here, bring those knees back up. Feet more or less hip width, and we're coming down onto our back bodies. So maybe roll onto one side, maybe slowly let yourself lower. Think about somebody lowering you. So if you were holding onto a rope, they're gently lowering you down, section by section. Feel that lower back arrive. Feel the back ribs arrive. Feel your shoulder blades arrive. And then feel the head arrive. Remember to prop your head up if that helps, lengthening through the back of your neck. And then those heels come a little closer to your sit bones. We're coming into a bridge pose. Your arms are by your side. You're going to push into your feet and you're going to lift your hips. And then as you exhale, gently lower them. And then again, inhale and lift. And exhale and lower. And inhale, lift. And exhale to lower. Now take your feet a bit wider to the edges of your mat. Your arms could go out into a T if you'd like, and drop your knees towards the left side. And inhale, bring those knees back through center. Maybe they touch. And then drop them to the right. And then try that again. Back through center. Take them to the left. And back through center. And over to the right. And then bring those knees back through center. Now heel to toe your feet together, soles of the feet together, and just like we did in that seated position, let's let those knees flop out and away from one another. You could bring your hands and rest them on your belly. You could also use your hands to support your thighs if you find that this is quite intense. You could also plant blocks under your thighs, supporting the legs. Your eyes might close. And keep coming back to your breath. And notice what kind of dialogue is happening in the mind. Just notice the content of any thinking. And then notice if, as soon as you notice thinking and content, notice if right away something else came along, like an evaluation of that or a judgment on whatever you were thinking about. Or if that led to another thought. Just take a moment and notice all of that happening. And then let go of that and come back to the simplicity of your breath. So notice your next inhale and your next exhale. And then you use your next breath in to bring those knees back in. Feet again traveling towards the edges of your mat, and let your knees rest gently against one another. So just by resting the knees against one another, you kind of countering what we just did, those knees wide. So just notice the different sensation around your hips, your inner thighs. Take a few breaths. And now before we move into Shavasana, just notice, see if there's another movement that your body could do with that might be beneficial for then finding stillness. So maybe those hip flexors need a little space. You come back into a gentle bridge. Maybe you want to hug those knees in. That lower back needs a little stretch. Try that. Maybe try not to overthink and tune into the sensations in the body and let those guide you. Give yourself about 8 to 10 breaths. And then eventually, as you feel ready, make your way into stillness, finding the most comfortable position for you at this point. Again, it could be on your back, extending arms and legs, kind of like the traditional image we get for Shavasana. But that doesn't mean it has to be that. It could be on your side, any other position. You could find a seat. Just make sure that your spine is supported at this point so that you can relax, so that you can let go of the effort. And for the next few minutes, really tune into that feeling of not having to be doing anything, showing up anywhere. See if you can really let yourself be here in this moment, nothing else to do. And as always, if you've got a bit longer, a bit more time for Shavasana and you'd like to stay, you're always welcome to. If you feel that you're ready to move on, bring your attention to your breath once again. And just gently add movement into your body. Any movement that feels good to you right now. And with no rush, make your way into a seat and we'll meet there. And find once again that lifted spine, a bit more action through that torso, the core of the body is supporting you. Your hands might rest in your lap, or you might choose to bring your hands to your heart. And we'll take this moment to acknowledge the practice itself, to acknowledge ourselves for practicing today, whatever it looked like. Acknowledging those who have practiced with us today and all those times before. And acknowledging all those who have made it possible. And we'll end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.